I think that John Saldivar is in quite a pickle. And why do I say that? Well, because the Prime Minister has said that if evidence were to ever surface that John Saldivar is in business with Mr. Mason, that he would fire John Saldivar from the cabinet. Now, a document has surfaced. A document has surfaced showing company documents that Mr. Saldivar was in business with Mr. Mason, that Mr. Mason owned 30% of the Bandits football team. Mr. Saldivar now quickly took out a release, and probably he was not properly advised, because in that release now he is saying that, yes, I had this thing with this man, and yes, he gave me 50,000. We don't know if it is 50,000 Belize or 50,000 US. He said, but then I set up one other company. So I moved the football team from this company to the next company. Now, if that was the case, any businessman that's worth its salt will tell you that that is illegal. That is fraud. So it is one of two choices, one of two things. Either Mr. Saldivar was in business with Mr. Mason, or he committed fraud. I don't know. He needs to answer that. And we need to hold the Prime Minister to his word that if evidence were to come out that John Saldivar was a business partner with Mr. Mason, that he would be fired. Now, I don't want to hear about no suspension for 1 week. First of all, I don't think there's any such thing as suspension for a minister. You are either a minister or you are fired, and you're not a minister, like what happened with Mr. Vega. So what, will they cut his salary for 1 week? Will he have to park his vehicle and his driver and all of those things during the suspension? I don't think so. We want nothing short of firing John Saldivar, because the Prime Minister promised this country that if the evidence were to come to the light that John Saldivar was in business with Mr. Mason, that he would fire him. So there's nothing less than firing John Saldivar from the cabinet.